Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. I'm your coach, Mike Wilkins, here with Coach Will Morrill and student Lucas Steel City Siebert, the first two-time guest on the show.
Yes.
How does it feel to make a second appearance on one of the most coveted spots in all of local Pittsburgh sports?
It feels good. I just happen to be here. And now I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, okay. Let's start with why is he here? Let's just start with that because we don't have to go in order of
No, we don't.
the original plan.
That is very true. Yeah,
right.
So we decided to watch back Lucas's last fight, which was, last weekend, and talk about what he did well, what he did less well, what we're going to work on, make a plan for, what's going to happen over the next however many months, and, how that fits into the long-term plan, and that's what we did.
So we also have some changes in the studio right now where we can see ourselves.
I'm
not handling it well.
Should we restart it and make that not the case?
No. This is fine. This is definitely fine. But it's making me feel weird. Like I'm looking at myself.
Yeah, it's also direct. Like if it was off the side.
Yeah, but it's okay. No, I want this.
Okay.
This is what I want.
Overcoming obstacles.
Yeah.
We were game planning. 2025, and then looking back at the fight, and went really well. Just like a meeting of the minds. I think like it's like a collaborative thing, which is cool. Like you guys aren't like, hey, do this. There are times where it's like that, but it's like, hey, here's my idea, here's your idea. Let's all find a middle ground. It's collaborative, right? And that's what I think the best athlete-coach combinations in the past have always been like collaborative. So I think that's something that I'm personally very grateful that I have coaches that I can do that with.
Awesome. I am also grateful that you have coaches that are me. So that's sweet. So this is the second time that we've done that, right? And there's a lot of work effort involved in it. First, me and Will do it by ourselves without you to prepare for having you. And then, we do that and, take it very serious. And that's something that is completely reserved for someone who takes it very serious outside of what we offer. Or not what we offer, what we ask.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to be tough to get like a meeting like that, to get a planning session like that, right? Like it's completely earned through actions outside of, knowing about it pretty much.
Yeah.
So Lucas definitely the hardest worker. Always very conscious about ways to improve, and especially not just like in the actual sport itself, just like outside of it as well. Like not just like, oh, could I have done this better, that better? How can I do this? That was good. Why was it good and stuff? But like, okay, what makes the next logical step for my improvements for this to be most efficient and things like that. So it's really good.
Yeah. So I would say the biggest takeaway that we had from this fight is very surprising, actually. Mike told me, or told both of us, Mike doesn't want him shooting anymore.
Bro, I knew you were gonna. I knew it was gonna be a lot. Like I could just tell because when you ever said very surprising, I was like, dude. I barely said anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're just striking now.
Yeah, just strikers. Me
We're
too.
actually thinking of.
I'm actually thinking of becoming a striking coach.
The goal was UFC champion, but now the goal is Lumpini champ.
Yeah. That's
Karate
it.
combat.
Karate combat.
Perhaps,
Yeah. Maybe the kumite. Do you know what the kumite is?
Brother, he's 24, dude.
Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I have seen that movie.
Yeah. That's the secret tournament that Frank Dukes fought in. All right, cool.
They actually used to have they called it the kumite in Pittsburgh. And
it was a grappling tournament.
Well, no, it wasn't just grappling. They also had traditional martial arts. And that was one of the first times I saw grappling live. I was there to do traditional martial arts.
What year do you think it was?
2007, maybe?
I was likely in that tournament.
Probably, yeah. And I was there doing traditional martial arts. I remember seeing the guys grappling and being like, that's sick.
No, I wasn't in that. Nope.
Yeah.
No, not 2007.
So you would have seen me in two divisions. In one of them, I just tore through a bunch of adults. And even though I was a kid, I lied about my age. And then they put me in with a kid who was a black belt. He was like 20. He was like 200 pounds. And I was like $150. And they were like, hey, we don't have anyone for this dude. I was like a red belt or something. And they were like, yeah, you're like tall. Why don't you go with him? And I was like, all right. Dude, this guy smoked me bad.
Oh, yeah?
Dropped me with a head kick.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty not awesome. But, growing experience.
There you go.
That's
All right,
really
cool. All right, so let's move on to some things that happened this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So this weekend, probably the biggest event of note for us was the IBJJF No-Gi Pan Am Championships. So Pan American, that is all of the Americas. What's the southernmost point in South America? Is it Argentina that like curves under the bottom of Brazil?
I want to say yes, but again, I'm an American dude. My geography skills are not great.
Lucas was looking for a map.
I was looking for a club. I figured you guys would
I know
have one
you
of
guys
those
have
shelves.
one somewhere. Here's a map.
That's a map of everything you need to know.
That's it right there. That's my world. All right, yeah. So really, really great tournament. Actually, the first IBJJF I ever did was No-Gi Pans. I did the 2012 No-Gi Pans. That was my first IBJJF major. And yeah, you know, a lot of our friends and some of our teammates competed. First want to start with Claire Butterfield. So Claire, the adult brown belt lightweight bronze medalist, right? So she now holds the most valuable achievement in jiu-jitsu out of our team besides Warren. She has the highest credential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's got a major in the adult division, the brown belt adult division, a major tournament, like a major medal. So what are the majors? Worlds, most important,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then Pans, Euros, and Brazilians. Brasileiros, or whatever. So yeah, Warren has a bronze at the 2011 No-Gi Pans in the black belt division. So, so Claire has now reached a very high level of achievement and has surpassed me and like Christian and the likes of that. So congratulations to Claire. It was definitely a breakout performance. She's been right on the edge of breaking out, having matches against some of the best girls in the world, girls ranked in the top 10 weekend after weekend. And, you know, she's just like clawing away. So it was a breakout performance for her. I'm very proud. And she's got to take some good confidence away from it. Her loss in the semifinals, she lost to the 1 seed. The score was 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. That's no points, no advantages, no penalties. And I think, and then so it went to a ref's decision. I think the ref got it right. It was razor thin, but I do think the girl off-balanced Claire, which means that she was closer to potentially changing the position than Claire was as far as her passing goes. So like, and just barely, and,
right.
You know. So like probably the right call, but you got to leave that with a ton of confidence, being like, oh, I'm one of the best in the world.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Pans is very comparable to Worlds too. Like a lot of people, Worlds typically will be just a smidge deeper.
I was going to ask you that. How many of the people who win Worlds come from Pans?
It's nearly copy and paste.
Okay, that's what I figured, because I assumed that the best jiu-jitsu guys are either American or Brazilian.
Yes, yeah, that is true. Now, with that being said, the IBJJF is not limited to that. For example, an American will go win Euros. An American will win Brazil.
Oh, so you don't have to be from that area to compete.
Yeah.
You can bounce around. Could you do like multiple?
Yeah, you can do. So there's a thing called the Grand Slam. That's when you do all 4. You win all 4.
That's sick. Who's done it?
I mean, there's several people have done it, but the most notably, like just you saying it off my head, Keenan Cornelius.
Okay.
He double gold Grand Slammed purple belt, which means he won weight and absolute at all 4 as a purple belt. Yes, that was in the purple belt division.
That's sick.
I
How old is
believe
Keenan?
32, 3, 4, something like that.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's like not old.
No, he's not that old, but he doesn't. He competed like 2 years ago at Pans and didn't do well. He's been primarily focused on his school, which is really good, and just like, you know, kind of changing the like narrative that of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to American Jiu-Jitsu, right? And he's got actually just started a podcast called like the Dojo Storm.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, so I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm really excited to listen to it. You know, when I get time. So yeah, there's
Speaking of Dojo Storm, and if we have time,
we do.
Well, let's finish up about Pans, and then
well, I got a lot of
time,
people
I'll
to talk
tell him
about
Monday.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so I'll rip through. So the next person who I want to give a credit to, Isaac Greeley, Pittsburgh legend.
Beast.
Yeah.
Isaac, Pan Am champion. So he's Masters Pan Am champion, black belt lightweight, and then went and won the open weight as well. So for anybody who's not familiar with what the open weight is, at the end, they run another bracket in which anybody who had medaled is eligible to enter into, and now weight classes don't matter. So like in his open weight, he ended up going against in the finals a super heavyweight to win. Super heavyweight, the poundage for that is 215.
How much do you think Isaac weighs?
Isaac, well, he had to make 162 for the tournament.
Big gap.
Yeah. So I looked at the open weight, like all the entrants for the open weight when he was doing it. I was in the airport for this. I was there for his weight bracket. I didn't think he was going to do open weight. I tend not to recommend open weight to people who compete lightweight and below.
Yeah.
But Isaac's the man. So I looked, and he was the second lightest person to do the open weight. So everybody in the bracket was weight classes above him, except for one person. And I'm pretty sure all of Isaac's matches were against
larger guys.
Yeah, and no, I know they were actually. Right. Actually, I know they were, but I'm not sure what weight class his semifinal opponent was. Maybe heavyweight, which is 202. Maybe even ultra heavy, which means anything above 215.
Yeah,
so who knows? But yeah, double gold. So that's really incredible, and that sets a really high bar. Which is on one hand really cool to have a bar set that high. On the other hand, like chill out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some other Pittsburgh grapplers. Rich Roby got a bronze medal. Aaron got a bronze medal. Aaron, short, small little dude.
From Factory?
Purple belt.
Yeah.
So he took bronze at feather. I'm gonna say either feather or light feather.
Yeah, probably.
Purple belt masters. Rich Roby, originally from All American MMA, now primarily out of Hensel Gracie Morgantown. I've been watching him compete since he was probably like a blue belt. He's brown belt. He has medaled at majors before, notably purple belt. I believe he double silvered purple belt one year at Pans, but had been struggling of late at majors. I think I'm not 100%, but I think like the last 3, he like lost first round. You know what I mean? Which tells you how tough this is. And he took a silver, going 2-1, but looking like an absolute dog the entire time. Completely changed up his style a little bit of what I've seen from him in the past. Primarily, he has been just a very strong guard player. Had great knee, very much so known for knee bars and other leg attacks and stuff like that. He was wrestling and passing guard exclusively, and dude, he was wrestling people's guards. Like, you know what I mean? Sick. Like, super active. And honestly, he could have won his finals match. Some strategic things. He gave up 2 points going for a knee bar, and there was definitely a dicey takedown call where we thought he got a takedown, and I was arguing for it. And then they watched it back, and they were like, all right, we can kind of see how, like, he shot in, the guy, like, stopped it, and then pulled after. Like, there was, like, definitely a separation.
Gotcha.
Potentially. I didn't rewatch it.
Yeah.
So, according to me, there was no separation. But they said, like, well, we can kind of see it. Like,
right.
And, yeah, and I think he's pumped because he's just like, dude, he's like, results are one thing, but, like, when you compete and you're like, dude, I competed good.
Yep.
Right? Like, you can, like, swallow those results better.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, I always went the opposite way, which was, like, completely immature of me, where I was like, oh, well, if I did my best and someone beat me, that meant they're really better than me. Like, I have, like, no, like, so that sucked to me, I thought, right? I'm like, if I do my absolute best and you beat me, then you're just better than me. And it's just like, oh, like, what's the point? Like,
right.
Like, type of thing. But in the moments in which I have had really great performances and came up short, I do understand, like, that. And it's like a sportsman thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if you're better than me and I did my best and you beat it, like, I don't want to win.
Yeah.
Like, you deserve, like, I don't want some, like, oh, because, like, I caught you slipping or you were sick or something like that, right? Like, I want us both at our best and I want the better person to win. I don't want an inauthentic victory.
Right. Do you like to win or do you like to compete?
Yeah. So, good performance for him. Some of the others who competed, myself, my first opponent missed weight. So I ended up going straight to the quarters, ended up losing 6-2. In the quarterfinals have been a bane of my existence in majors. That's 3 Pans in a row and a Worlds where I lose in the quarters, which is it's like the blood round.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, if you win that, then you're going to medal. So, gotta figure that out. And then Lucas Jones, who's like the main homie. Dude, he's on fire lately, right? He wins the Cleveland Open, going 4-0, beating some pretty impressive opponents, right? I roll with him like here and there, you know, and it's always just like such a tough role.
Big
you know what I mean?
finishers won.
Yeah. He just won at they did like a CJI rule set at the finishers like not very long ago, in which, you know, he won that match. And right before that, he did a finishers tournament that he took third place in. But in that bracket, the guy who won it, that's who he just beat at the CGI style one. And in that bracket, he beat a brown or a black belt who was a black belt quarterfinalist. So it's like, man.
Yeah.
But he ended up getting his foot torn off in the first match. And then he was V-sad, I was V-sad, and then we got a little happier. No, yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, it's part of the game, right? Like sometimes you just get beat and, you know, just like take it on the chin. He's competing this weekend at Midwest Finishers, so
you
he's
guys
already roll off
hit the
his back.
Pool, fully rested, relaxed. That's why you're fresh today.
Yeah, dude, I'm on my second day of a hangover right now.
So did you keep your streak? You kept your streak alive for competing?
Yep. So that was so 34 calendar years in a row. Now I have competed.
That's insane.
Yeah, so
sick.
I had my first wrestling match in like early December of 1991. So, and I've done a competition in 1991, 92, 93, all the way up. Now we're here in 2024.
You're
And
close.
I knocked
You cut it
off
close.
2024.
You
Oh, I
it
cut it close. I originally wasn't even going to do pans. I went to Cleveland to do Cleveland, and you guys know, like, people would be like, oh, you should count it. Like, you did everything you could. And I was like, but I know.
Yeah.
Like, when I tell the story, like, I'd be like, oh, yeah, since this
There's
year.
an asterisk here.
But in the back of my head, I would know.
You're
Like, I
telling-
know.
You're gonna be telling your grandkids.
Yeah, but I plan to go do Worlds, so I'll hopefully get another competition in. You know, I kind of forgot how much I love it. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely love it. And there goes, do you love to compete or do you love to win? Because I had a less than stellar performance, got a takedown, you know, as of course is tradition. But then I ended up getting swept. I was playing a different side of half guard that I usually play, and I ended up getting swept with it's a really good technique, but like it's also a position that even though you're doing good technique there, I'm really good at defending and capitalizing on, and I felt myself like not use my athleticism. And like, you know, and it's like, okay, competition rust, right there. And then, you know, there was a position where I was in bottom half guard, and now it's 2-2, and I'm like, all right, dude, like I can get back to my feet, and I'm going to get another takedown.
Yeah.
I can win this match. And I kind of force a bottom turtle, which could be a mistake, could not be a mistake, because it's like situational. It's like, all right, like is there enough time for me to work a guard to get myself back up? Should I have played a half guard and tried to sweep from there? Because, you know, that is definitely in my skill sets. But I was like, just like very confident on the feet. So I was like, I'm just going to get back to the feet. And then I got a little in turtle. I just wasn't moving like you're supposed to, you know? And then I got my back taken. And when he took my back, I was shocked that I got my back taken. And then I battled out of that, reversed the position to the top closed guard, stood up, broke the guard open. Quick glance at the time, 8 seconds, threw a cartwheel. I knew that was it.
Yeah.
We ended up going out of bounds with 1 second left, right? And they stopped us. And I thought the match was just over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, good job, dude. You know, like, very happy and grateful to compete. And we walk back in and we see there's 1 second left. So he turns and he's like, oh. And I'm like, I'm coming. I was like, I'm coming, right? And then she restarted us. And I was like, ah. It's like, I'm just kidding. There ain't enough time to score 4 points.
Yeah.
Like, inherently, you can't. It's literally
Right.
impossible because you need a ref's
Yeah,
3 count on all the points. There's nothing I could have done. You know?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
brutal.
But it brought a certain level of gratitude, and I competed this weekend with a lot of gratitude, which is something that I think is good to have at certain points of your life, but probably not all the time. I was grateful, number one, that I was healthy enough to compete.
Yep.
I was grateful, number two, that I had the means to get there
Yeah.
and compete, right?
Right.
You know, like, it's not, you know, free to go compete
Right.
at Pans in Texas,
Yeah.
right? I was grateful that there's enough people like me who also want to do this, so there's people to compete against.
Yup.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of gratitude, and I'm ready to go to Worlds and win.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah, but we had a good time there. You know, a lot of people had good times.
Yeah.
You know, down there. Some of us maybe had some better times than the others. Yeah, we may have. So it was daylight savings. So
Got a little
it fell
extra
back.
time.
So from 11:30 a.m. until
So that'd be the longest. That'd be the longest night of the year.
yep until that special hour. We went
Listen.
the whole time.
You may not have taken first at jiu-jitsu, but you definitely took first in fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. And
First and fun.
Yeah, but I probably will never do it again.
This is it. Mike's
Oh,
time.
yeah, it's one of my is like I always try to be enjoy things more than other people.
Oh, we can tell the story real quick. So,
yeah, let's tell it.
So we're hanging out at my house or my apartment, like I don't know, a million years ago, and it's like a bunch of my friends, and we had those, those little like, I don't know what you call them, like
they
coffee
look like
cookies.
They're cookies, but they look like a straw.
Yeah, it's like a roll, right?
Yeah.
And so like we're like, oh yeah, let's eat some of these. So everyone's like grabbing some. Mike grabs one, and he starts eating, and he goes, all right, everyone stop. He's like, I'm enjoying this more than all of you because we'd all already had some, so like we knew it was up. And we're like, dude, what are you talking about? He goes, listen, you guys all knew what you were getting into.
You knew there's chocolate inside it.
Yeah, they were filled.
I thought it was just like, like graham cracker stuff.
He was like, I didn't know, so now I'm winning.
Yeah, think about it. Like
That's
you
fair.
knew,
That
so you
makes
had an
sense.
expectation, and it was either going to beat, or not meet your expectation. But your expectation had been set. It dramatically exceeded my expectations. Therefore, I had more joy than everybody else.
Sometimes we compete to see who can have more joy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great.
Pretty awesome.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love
Can
that
you think of a
concept.
moment in which you had more joy than somebody else? Was it maybe last Saturday night?
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun. I felt like I was having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, cool. So that wraps up hands. Yeah. Oh, big event this weekend.
Yeah.
Long awaited. So we've got Josh Ramirez's professional MMA debut Saturday, November 9th in Morgantown, West Virginia, at a Marriott that is surprisingly nice.
Yeah.
It is a nice Marriott.
Lucas, tell us about that Marriott and the sheets across the street. That is the most dangerous sheet.
So Mike refuses to go to Sheets in
We
the
went-
state of West Virginia.
We went after the last one, and
we
the
went to
same
the
thing
parking
again.
lot.
And I was like, nope. I was right.
Well, there's some homeless people in West Virginia, and they tend to linger at Sheets where they can pick up some free stuff. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time in that hotel, and I think this whole thing is pretty cool because it's full circle moment. Josh Ramirez wrestled with me and Luke Martin in 2018. We're both 18. All three of us were 18 years old, meeting each other, and now we're all together as teammates again. 6 years removed, and Josh making his professional debut, and it's gonna be a special occasion. It's gonna be really, really cool.
It's been a long time coming.
It really is, and
Very long.
It's been tough getting Josh his pro fight. So 5-1 amateur record, but weirdly enough, like some of his fights are like coming up like they were in an unsanctioned state or whatever.
Right.
So it like really messes with his ability to get a pro card, But he qualified for a pro card in West Virginia, so kind of pigeonholed into having to fight there. So you're pigeonholed into very certain dates. It's like, oh man. So this ended up being a short notice fight, right? Like 8-9 days.
Also, we had a lot of people who like verbally agreed.
Yeah, we like kind of finalized the date at one point, and then it almost got.
Started seeing like to me.
It got to the point where it was like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen. So much to the point where I texted my friend Cam Jenkins is fighting an OCL, and I was like, yeah, I can corner you. Josh isn't fighting anymore.
Yeah.
And then
maybe you needed to do that so that way it was like if you do that, he's gonna get a fight.
Yeah, you're right. And you're welcome, Josh. So thank me. And then what? 10 days out.
Yeah, something like that.
10 days. 10 days. So a game opponent. I believe this dude just fought like semi recently.
I think so.
He's an amateur Ohio guy. Cage Thunder. Most of his.
I know he
fights
fought
out of.
the same night that Brian Hess and Will Moriarty fought in Cleveland.
Brian Hello Kitty Hess.
Yeah, Brian Hello Kitty Hess with his 16-second sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe he fought that night as well, and he might have even fought more recently than that night as well. But he's also making his pro debut. Also 5-1 amateur fighter. Also with a wrestling background, wrestled at Notre Dame College, a prominent Division II school. So it's going to be a good competitive scrap.
Yeah, this should be a good one.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I cannot wait to watch Josh fight.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so excited. He's a hell of a competitor, and he's just doing all the right stuff. So, good to see him fight. Also, Max Terrell.
That's right. We've got. Well, hold on. Let's stay on Ramirez. We'll go to Max.
All right.
Stay on Ramirez. Incredibly fun to watch.
Yes.
Right? So, You know, I get to watch him practice, and I get to practice against him. So I see like all the cool stuff he does, and he just like can't help himself. He just naturally does like smooth, cool things.
He's just a cool guy.
I coach him at West Coast Trials, which like is a prominent tournament.
Yeah.
Like West Coast Trials, you go there and you lose first round, you're still good, dude.
Yeah.
You're still good. You know what I mean? You could be one of the best still. But yeah, he went out there and he was doing really well, and then he got disqualified for thugging too hard.
Yeah. Quote by Luke Martin.
Luke Martin, yeah. Yeah, my favorite Instagram comment of all time.
How many people are in that tournament?
So each weight class has 256.
And how many people win the tournament? One person? Josh is the only other person that did not lose.
Yeah. Yeah. DQ'd for thugging too hard.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so smooth. Dude, Justin,
he's so smooth.
Justin Jones rolled with him on
Monday night up in Sealy.
He was like, I was like, yeah. I was like, he plays with you like you're a child. I was like, he's been doing this since he was 3.
Yeah, he just spins around you.
Mm-hmm.
Spins around you.
It's like he has this. I think like he's the best fight, like skill for skill. You know what I mean? I was talking to Justin on my podcast, Fight Life Unfiltered, right? And if you're doing Madden ratings,
yeah,
Josh Ramirez, like skill for skill, dude,
right?
He's up there.
Up there, dude. He is super talented. I cannot wait.
So it's been like, I don't know, like 9 months ago, we were working on some like attacking the back from the turtle position with the fight team. And I was like, yeah, there's this thing called the truck, right? And I just like showed it, and I was like, yeah, like we'll use this eventually because like the way that you entangle your legs, you're going to be able to find in different positions, but it's definitely not something we want to be focused on right now or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it's just like this. And like I did it. And then like Lucas and Ramirez were like, what's that? Because it involves like a roll. Like you're rolling, right? So it's like cool looking.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, all right. I'm like, we're not learning this, but like here, it's this. And then like, so like I showed him like twice. The next week, Ramirez is at Henzo's in Manhattan hitting it on the black belts.
Dude.
Like, from positions I didn't know it could be done from. Right? He's just like, yeah. He's
dude,
like,
talk about winning a trip. Talk about winning and fun. Josh Ramirez won the trip to New York in January.
He won that trip.
He won the trip. And everybody was like, you're the coolest person I know.
Yeah. Big stock up trip for Ramirez.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But dude, now he trucks everybody. He trucks the entire stout community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Max, let's go talk about Max.
Max is gonna beat this kid up.
Yeah. You think he's got a chance, Max? I think he's got a chance. Yeah, Max is good. Good little striker. Not a good little jiu-jitsu guy.
Good striker. He's gay. Dude, his takedowns in his debut.
I've been rolling with
Some
Max.
of the best I've seen.
Every Monday night I've been rolling with Max, and I apologize to him every time after. I'm like, damn, dude. And we have a deal where in 6 months I'm gonna stop. Like I big brother him, so like I'm doing moves. I'm like, dude, Max, this is not helping you. I'm your coach. I should be like rolling with you differently, but like, dude, there's something about you. You just like bring it out of me, right? Like I just like to say, you know what I mean? I'm like, why are you like this? Yeah, dude. It's just like, well, no, Tim. It's completely different. It's just like something. Yeah, Tim brings it upon himself. Matt's not doing anything intentionally wrong to bring this upon him. He just has little brother energy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, damn, dude.
We should talk about his bet where he told me.
Yeah, let's talk about his bet.
It was at the
last stout fights, Muay Thai card.
He told Vince that I couldn't hold him down for a round.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I held him down for 2 consecutive, including the break in between.
Yeah.
So I just didn't let him up.
Yeah.
I took him down 3 seconds. And then I just, big brothered him.
Yeah.
For sure. But, you know, Max is like, you have to earn that. That's like a thing that you earn.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to beat up somebody that's like, you know, not doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
Like Max, and then sometimes I'll see him after practice and he's like, has his head down because I beat him. And I'm just like, smirk. I think it's funny.
Yeah,
and I go, Max, I love you. And then I walk away.
Yeah.
Because he needs it. And it's good for him, but I mean, dude, he's 20 years old. He's about to be 3-0 as an AME. His potential is like, I mean, if you look at it, like one of the highest in the gyms. Being 20
Absolutely.
Years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think he's very committed. He does the right stuff. And it's apparent. So you know, I'm gonna help him out as much as possible. And he's got a good support system. he's like Jonas's A1.
Yep.
So you know he's doing all the right stuff. I'm excited to watch him fight.
This weekend is his opportunity to be the big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And then no matter how he does, I'm gonna beat him up on a Tuesday.
That's it, dude. And that's all there is to it.
For the rest of his career. And then when he's good enough to beat me, I'll retire and I won't. I'll be coaching.
If he starts beating me, I'm just gonna be like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Make him feel real bad about it. It's like, how dare you? All I poured into you, and you're gonna do this to me?
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
We also have another fight on that card.
But we're still talking about Max.
Oh, okay, all right. Didn't realize you had more to say about Max.
Yeah, so this will put him in advanced roles when he comes back to PA.
That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this will be his third fight, so he'll be able to do advanced roles. That means shin guards are officially gone.
Yep. Which is going to be a
Big
big advantage for
Shin
him.
condoms. Get rid of them.
Ground and pound now
Ground and pound.
is a go. So, yeah, we're ready
I'm
to rock.
excited to see him. I know he wants to fight, you know, in Pittsburgh. So being able to fight in Pennsylvania without those advanced rules are big. And I know he's a little bit frustrated by some of the West Virginia rules that he didn't know were a thing. So
What's he from? I don't know.
It's like they're 2-minute rounds. I was like,
But are his?
yeah.
Because I think they have advanced rules
That guy's
too.
debut.
It's going to be a sprint.
Whatever, dude. We're just getting the fight, get the fight done.
Yeah, just punch him in the face for 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. All right, we'll be good. All right, so go ahead.
So then we have a member of the Council of Joshes.
That's right. Yeah, we sure do.
Another one.
Josh Sharasnik.
Yep.
Yeah. So Josh Sharasnik making his MMA debut. He's now on his third opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So had his original opponent. I think his original opponent had gotten a new job, work conflict, something like that. Then the replacement was the same kid Brian Hello Kitty Hess fought and had beaten 16 seconds. Now, why is that so funny? Well, if you don't know Josh Sharasnik or Brian Hello Kitty Hess, you would know that they compete 60 pounds apart. Brian is a 145-pound fighter, whereas Josh is a 205-pound fighter, and he is every bit of it.
Yeah.
So Brian beat this guy in 16 seconds, and it's a good story. You guys probably heard it if you're, dedicated listeners. Brian, who is a 145er, I thought he was a 155er for same-day weigh-ins, right? Mm-hmm. So, if it's the same day, some people fight different weight classes, Because if it's a day before weigh-in, you have the time to recover, so you can cut to, whatever will be, likely your pro weight class. Turns out Brian's a 145er, doesn't matter where you're weighing in. But I had him in at 155, and he gets this fight against this kid, and he's like, oh, it's at 155. Oh, that's good. I've been weighing out of practice at 153. And I'm like, oh, my bad, dude. And I'm like, well, hey, listen, how about you just do this anyhow? And he's like, okay, right? And I'm like, it's too late. I already said it. I would rather you inconvenience yourself and fight up a weight class than me have to text that I put you in the wrong weight class. Mm-hmm. So that's that, right? So he fights at 155, and then we're at weigh-ins. Well, I'm not there, but they're at weigh-ins, and his opponent misses weight by 10 pounds, which puts the fight at 170. So that means Brian has to weigh in at 156. So they call me and they're like, oh, and I'm already I'm immediately like, dude, I don't know. You're already fighting up a weight. Now you're going to be fighting up 2 weights. And I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, how do I do it? Or whatever. And I'm like, all right, shove stuff in your pockets, drink a bunch of water. So he weighs in at 156, so he can fight 170. Yeah. He's a 145. He goes out, 4 unanswered strikes, pop, 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 snap, guillotine, yep. 16 second sub. And this is the same dude who's going to fight Josh Sharasnik.
Yeah, dude.
Right? And it's just it's crazy. But he injured his foot, so now we are on to Josh's third opponent. Mm-hmm. And I did tell Josh, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Before this guy got injured, I was like, I'm sorry. It's not a real fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, get your feet wet, get you started. You get your walk to the cage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like a dress rehearsal. Yeah. I mean, I want you to take it as serious as you can, so that way we can. But, you could, I don't know, you have no shot of losing.
Yeah, you'd have to try.
Yeah. So, but now he's fighting a real opponent.
Yeah.
Right? So his opponent, an Ohio kid, definitely a high school wrestler, because I saw a lot of videos of him wrestling for Team Ohio at the junior doles and stuff like that. So national Trek wrestler for the Team Ohio. So it should be a good fight. 2 wrestlers, 2 big wrestlers, skilled wrestlers. Seeing how that matches up with their wrestling, and then see where their skills are in other areas.
For sure.
Yeah. So now he's got a real fight on his hands. So embrace it.
He looked very good in training last week, so
yeah.
I'm excited.
He's a pretty dedicated and disciplined kid.
He is. He is. So, yeah, that'll be a fun weekend. Speaking of this weekend, there's some UFC fights. Should we take a look at those?
Yeah, let's just take a peek. And so, the fight night, which is main evented by Neil Magny and Carlos Pirates.
I think it's Prates or Prates.
Carlos Pirates.
I'm going to go with Neil Magny based on the fact that the Pirates GM doesn't want to win.
Neil Magny's, he's been around forever.
Yeah.
Neil Magny only loses to really good guys.
Yeah, he's like,
so, you know.
Co-main event, we got Cody No Love Garbrandt.
Let's go.
Whose uncle is one of your boxing coaches. Was one of my coaches.
Bob Meese, Stingray.
The Stingray.
I'm excited. Always love watching Cody Garbrandt fight. I grew up. He's an Ohio guy. Actually trained in Pittsburgh. I grew up like a fan of Cody Garbrandt, like a legitimate fan of Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, I'm always going to be rooting for Cody. I've known Cody since he was a kid. He's always been, such a hard worker, so dedicated to the sport. So I want nothing but the best for Cody.
And dude, there's like no one he couldn't beat. You know what I mean? Like if he connects, it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he can beat you without that too. Like he beat Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, that might be the best bantamweight of all time, and I'll still the Cody Garbrandt to beat Dominic Cruz might be the best.
Yeah,
bantamweight of all
for
time.
sure. Super skilled.
Yeah,
super fast.
Yeah. So some other things on the card that stand out to me, I would just say, the Gerald Meerschaert fight.
Dude, this is a big one.
Tell me about it.
So he's fighting. I'm gonna mess up this name, but we'll just call it Renier de Ritter.
Yep.
Wow.
I remember seeing it when he was fighting, and like they said it, and I was like, dude, that's just not gonna stick. But anyways, this dude was a one champion, and I want
he's it's the trade.
Yeah, or I think they just bought him. I don't think they traded anyone for him, but I believe he was the middleweight MMA champ, and I want to say he might have also been striking champion.
Wow, that's really interesting. Gerald Meerschaert is one of my favorite MMA grapplers.
Dude.
So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
This is just on the Google schedule? Is this on the UFC site?
You know what?
To where we can get betting odds? Actually, I have my phone. Oh.
Hey, there you go.
I got my phone. Which is really cool because my phone has been the camera for every episode until this episode, so we were unable to look things up. So what I want to do is I want to see what Gerald Meerschaert is running at, and I'm going to give you guys my pick.
Dude, and while you're at it, do me a favor after this, take a look and see if he was a striking champ as well as MMA champ.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that as well.
It was either that or he was like a two-weight. There's something like that.
All right, UFC, right here. Okay, upcoming fights. Where are we at? Here we go. Whoa, Gerald Meerschaert running at a plus 215.
Oh,
all
so
right.
It's one championship, guys.
Good. It's viewed to as good. So, live on air, we're going to throw $25 on Gerald Meerschaert. Hold on.
All right.
No, we're not. I lied. So, that's running at a 215, but they don't have it yet. I got to wait till closer to the fights because I'm going to pick him by sub.
Yeah.
So, method of victory, betting on FanDuel at the moment, not yet available.
Do me a favor. Take a look up at our buddy DeRitter here. And
what do you want? What do you want to know?
I just want to see if he was...
Jamie, look that up.
Mike, take a peek.
So he's Dutch.
So you know he's going to be good at striking.
All right. So previously competed in the One Championships where he was a former one middleweight world champion and light heavyweight champion.
That was it.
So he was 2-division MMA champion.
Jeez. Now, here's the thing about one. Their MMA level,
oh, no.
not good.
Yeah,
he trains at Killcliff.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's legit.
This is changing my mind.
But
what is this?
Well,
oh, no.
That's already placed.
He's good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, is that the level of MMA in one is not high, but that doesn't mean that they don't have some good fighters. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why this interests me, is because he was, like, dominating one, but how's that going to carry over into the UFC? And Gerald Meerschaert, I think, is a really good, like, test, because he's good, but he doesn't always win. You know what I mean?
So, when I was going to take Meerschaert by decision, I might not now. De Ridder is actually a good grappler. The way that you were saying that you thought he was like the MMA champ and like the kickboxing champ or something.
I knew that he had 2 belts, and I wasn't sure how that happened.
If the second one was kickboxing, then I was going to take Meerschaert by decision. Or I mean by submission. Now I'm going to take Meerschaert by decision.
No, after seeing what Chimaev did to Meerschaert, that doesn't make you concerned that he's...
No, because actually, now in hindsight, now you bringing this up, I wouldn't have known this without this, but I watched De Ridder do two grappling matches. I've watched him lose now to two greats. But I watched him lose to Ty Rotolo and Andre Galvao.
Well, I mean,
Was that in ADCCs or was that in 1?
That was both. They were both in 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
wow, this dude's...
He competes. He competes a lot.
I mean, yeah. So and he didn't get submitted by either of them.
Yeah.
Lost decisions. So
that means it's unlikely that Meerschaert's going to submit him.
Yeah. Except MMA, you know.
Yeah.
MMA changes everything for sure. The one thing I would say about Meerschaert, he's got a ton of fights. What does that say? 37-17.
Yep.
And
54.
not that long ago, he got put out bad by Chimaev.
Yeah, but he's on a win streak.
I know, but like your chin doesn't like. You can rest it up and get it kind of back, but like that much fighting.
It had to be long ago.
At a certain point,
You're out here saying not long ago. It had to be long ago.
You're right. It had to be like 2 years ago.
Like, I mean, think about it. Chimaev's just been off the face of the earth forever.
That's a good
So,
point. Yeah, I want to say it was probably 2
Very
years ago then.
Yeah, he's fine.
Actually, it might have been longer.
37 and 17. Is he the have the most fights
No.
now?
No. You mean currently?
Currently?
Currently, maybe.
Currently on the roster,
Yeah.
he could. But
With Matt retired.
Who was the guy who had like 300 fights or something?
Oh, he's either
That's
dead or in jail.
That's not real.
Fulton, Travis Fulton. That is real.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah, he did
What?
something horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Yeah. Here, let's look him
fuck
up.
that
Travis
guy.
Fulton.
It's a bummer that our sport has some real douchebags in it. Which, by the way, do you remember however many episodes ago I said that...
He's dead. So maybe he didn't. Nope. Okay, I want to take back that he did something horrible. He might have, but like it's not immediately coming up.
We apologize.
Yeah. So he passed away in 2021, but let's hit his record.
Shit.
Well,
Bloopers.
so he had 75 pro boxing fights
That's wild.
and 320 pro MMA fights.
That's wild.
255 wins, 54 losses, 10 draws, 1 no contest.
That's insane.
Dude,
that's like
I
a
think-
tie record.
That's nuts. How many MMA fights?
320.
When did he? How old was he when he retired? He had a fight.
He never retired. He died. He was still active. He was 44.
Damn.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
Now I'm sad. Can we?
Yeah, let's change it around. So that's an interesting fight. And is that one going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be opening the main card, it looks like.
Oh, yep, nope. Terrible person. Did something horrible.
All right.
I don't take back what I said then.
Then, yeah, awful dude. Fuck
Yeah, I
him.
was right.
We'll put him on the level with, he can be with Phil Baroni and,
might have played a part in that.
Phil Baroni and War Machine.
Yeah. All right,
and,
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe Son.
Well, I'm good here.
Have you watched Ricky Toros?
No.
He's good. He fight.
All right, that's Lucas's look out for this fight card.
This actually gonna be kind of a fun card.
It's really good. I'm starting to keep my eyes on these bantamweights.
Yep, yeah, we talked about that. You need to be watching them.
Yeah.
Let's see the prelims.
Dude, this is all I have right here.
Scroll
I
up.
think you scroll up.
Scroll up. If you go up.
That's
I
that's
see.
the direction up.
Yeah.
Show me how it works.
Anybody screaming your name. Cody Stammen.
He's good.
Yeah, Damon Blackshear. He's fighting Damon
I
Blackshear.
remember watching Matthew Semmelsberger fight, but I can't remember how he did. Oh, Bolanos, Dream Killer.
Oh, wow.
That's sick. Okay, hopefully they gave him, I don't know.
It's a bantamweight. You should watch that fight.
I don't know anything about his opponent, Cortavius Romeos,
Trayshawn Gore.
but Gaston Bolanos is a legit good striker, and hopefully they gave him another striker so he can like show off a little bit. Yeah, I think he just lost his last 2 maybe. Yeah, that's one to look out for right there.
It looks like a good card to watch the whole start to finish. Start to finish. Yeah.
That one in particular, I'm gonna say look out for the spin elbow from Gaston.
Oh, these are early card. All times Eastern prelims start at 4. Most fight nights are 7 p.m. main cards.
I will be in Morgantown, West Virginia.
I will be at Morgantown, West Virginia, so I won't be watching these fights live.
We can watch them in the back.
We can't.
We're gonna be busy.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna be warming up.
3 fighters
Max.
and 3 fighters that are likely going to be spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wish.
3 fighters will likely be spread out because you'd assume Josh is a debut versus debut, so they'll probably be very early. Max is probably mid card, and then Ramirez is definitely towards the end.
For sure. Now, real quick, because we were talking about DeRitter,
Talk about one.
Yeah, so one sold him or his contract or whatever, and I mean, all I've been seeing in my algorithm is just
People leaving,
people being upset with one. They just had Panpayak fight again after 2 years off.
Yeah, after 2 years off.
And think about who are their stars? Superlek, Rodtang, Haggerty. The Ritolos.
Yeah, Ritolos.
What are you gonna do with Superlek, Rodtang, and Haggerty? Are you just gonna have them keep fighting each other? You know what I mean?
I would watch.
I mean, I would watch for sure, but at a certain point, you need fresh challenges. Okay, so Rodtang is fighting, I think this weekend or next weekend. I think it's this weekend. I think on Friday. Did you guys know that he was fighting?
No.
Do you know who he's fighting?
I don't
No. Do you?
know anything.
I read his name this morning. Couldn't tell you. You know what I mean?
Well, so I think this is one thing the UFC does really well is they kind of build everybody up. This sounds similar to boxing, right? A lot of times you'll be like, oh, well, unless Canelo's fighting a big name like Caleb Plant or something like that, you don't know anybody who's fighting in between. So I think, I think the UFC's obviously the premier thing, and the other places need to figure out ways that they can get theirs if they're gonna keep doing it.
It's such a bummer too, because one has such a cool model, and they're showing off good strikers, and I really love that. But man, they're just making poor decisions, and also there's been some other fighters. I know there's at least one that we know of who is getting released and then probably going to go to the UFC, who I believe is coming out sometime soon publicly and talking about the issues he had with one. What's his name? The president of Karate Combat. He's been in a big battle with one and just
Oh, the dude that owns GoShed?
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And he's just been publicly shitting on them for the past however many months. And the more you're looking at their business practices, and another thing I think I discussed this the other time too is they had Eddie and Luke fight each other. And it's those are your 2 biggest American stars.
Yeah, it's his Luke's second fight, first fight.
I think it was his second fight in, and now it's okay, so now Luke wins, and then he goes and loses his next one. So now
His first fight in, man.
Who was that?
That was his first fight. Luke's first fight would have been against Eddie. He's only fought twice for one, right?
No. He fought
3 times.
Joe Nottawa. He fought Eddie, and then he fought.
Yeah, he lost to Joe Nottawa first, right?
Right, but that was a close one, and he hurt him really badly at the end. And what's crazy is now Joe is fighting for the title again. They're rematching because he fought Tawan Chai, and Chatri's oh, it was a bad decision, so let's run it back again.
Sheesh.
And you could make an argument for being a bad decision, but also Chatri just he does what he wants. Hold on, there's one other thing about one.
Yeah.
They lost one of their big grappling stars.
Well, there's 2 other things about one. Number one, they did lose one of their big grappling stars. Mikey Musumeci is moving his home base back to the United States, where he plans to stay permanently, and will change his competition schedule to revolve around, that area. I'm imagining we maybe see him on some Who's Number Ones, some UFC Fight Passes. I'd love to see him finally throw his hat in the ring at ADCC the next time through. So there's that. And to throw some positive news, as of November 1st at least, Tom DeBlas has been announced as the head of the grappling portion.
Right.
And there has been 2 new grappling signings. Cole Abate, who just won the Nogi Pans at featherweight this past weekend, has been signed, as has Dante Leon, a favorite of
that's
the
right.
Awesome.
I saw that.
I did.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'd forgotten about that, and I also wasn't familiar with the other dude. So tell me about him.
So Cole Abate, at the time, 2019. Oh, was this 2019? No, it wasn't. 2022 East Coast Trials. So it happened in October of 2021 for the 2022 World Championships. Cole Abate became the youngest to win a Trials.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Or or either the youngest or the second youngest. I can't remember if Nicky Ryan did it a little bit younger, but he was a 16-year-old blue belt who won the 66 kilo division at the East Coast Trials.
That's sick.
He's been kind of like in the jiu-jitsu community, very similar to the Rotolos, as he's been like, when I first heard about Kolbate, he's probably 8 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Type of thing. So watching him come up through all the color belts, I remember at Nogi Worlds in 2021, not a lot of juveniles get purple belt. So you can't get your adult belts till you're 16. That means you can then be a blue or a purple.
Right.
Okay? And a lot of adults, or a lot of juveniles stay at blue so that way they have other people to compete against.
Right.
And Kolbate is a great example. His 17-year-old year, he was awarded his purple belt. And there was 2 purple belts at Worlds. So he was the only one in his weight class. And this other kid was the only one in his weight class. So they both automatically became world champs. And then, for the absolute, the other kid did not do the absolute against him. So he got, similar to Mike Cleveland, he got double gold in the world championships without a match, simply because
he was there.
Purple belts, and purple belts just don't really exist at that age.
Right.
Although they're technically allowed, it's not common for them to exist at that age, and because of that, kids who may have been purple belt don't get it for competition. They're like, okay, well, if I get my purple belt this year instead of next year. Oh, and also the IBJJF for the youth, they do it by your birth year, and that's it. Like,
it's a hard cut.
Like every kid born in 2004, every kid born in 2005, every kid born in 2006. Like, not like in most other sports, it's a year range. Right. It's like, all right, all kids born between 2008 and 2010 are in this bracket. All kids born between 2011 and 2012 are in that bracket. Like, nope, it's just literally the 1 year. You know, so I think they should spread that out and they'd have a little bit better participation. But that's neither here nor there. But you know what? I think that's a good place to end it. Good place to wrap it up. Thanks, Lucas, for being the first 2-time participant on Listen to Your Coaches. And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.